let's play in 3D foundation. Basics with 3D foundation. You do not need a primer. The product is designed to be used alone and then set it because it is a cream. It's highly pigmented. You want a clean, dry face. Put moisturizer. If you're extra dry, highly recommend put on some moisturizer, but let it soak all the way in because you don't need a slippery surface. You don't need primers at all. It's designed to be used without a primer, but if you have a primer you absolutely love, you can wear it as long as it does not have silicone in it, because this is a cream and silicone is a slippery surface, so it will not stay. It'll slide around on your face. Use very little. Applying with a brush is recommended because it applies the least amount of product. Really, truly what I use on a daily basis, these 3 brushes. I have other brushes, but these 3, you can get, this is your whole makeup. Imagine that, all your makeup in one hand. Doesn't matter if you're wearing the Demi or the 3D foundation. It's so minimal and streamlined. Kara is brilliant for that. I'm gonna start with contour. Because everything is not layered, there are multiple ways to wear it. It's like color by number, so it doesn't matter what color you start with. I have in this palette, I have my contour, a bronzer, 2 highlights, a couple of cheek colors, and this is my illuminator. With contour, I'm going to use a walnut, and I'm just going to start at my forehead with this larger end of this brush, and notice that I'm just barely dipping into the contour, dabbing and not swiping. The reason why I say dabbing, keeps your palette clean and it keeps you from getting too much product. So you see I just went from my hairline halfway down, and you see what I'm doing? I'm working it into my skin. So the little video that I made you that got color matched, that's what I'm talking about. Work it into the skin. This is, see how I'm already getting coverage? That's what's so cool. The contour gives you coverage. You don't need foundation because this makes your foundation. Beneath my cheekbones, and notice how I'm working it into the skin, and I'm leaving my hand loosey-goosey. Applying it this way keeps you from having too much, and it allows the pigment to do its job, because Seint Beauty is all about color, and these products are very pigmented. I'm gonna take that same color and we're going to go down the side of my nose just a little. Maybe go on the top and dust it up there on the top just a little. And maybe on the end of my smiles, because I have my daddy's nose. And now you see I'm pulling it down onto my neck, but I want to make sure it's blended. You don't want to have a funny looking line there. So this place is empty. I call this the ski mask. And this is the beard and the mustache area. So that's all open. All right, I'm wiping my brush off on a paper towel. You've got to clean off your brush between colors. Main highlight, meaning like my main foundation color. This is softer than the contour, so it takes a little pressure to get it on the brush. And I'm gonna start at my beard area, and notice how I'm going in between the 2 areas. And I'm working that into the skin. See, that's what I mean by working it out. Because it is cream, and if you don't move it into the skin, then it's just gonna sit on top. What time is it? I don't wanna keep y'all too long. I could sit here all day. Notice how I'm just going above my brow with this color, and I'm not going over the contour. Put it in the pie piece underneath my eye, and notice how I'm just working into the skin. Now right here in the side of my nose, I'm gonna work that into there. I'm using that brush and working it into the skin, and notice how I didn't go over my contour, and you see how I still have that nice shadow of the contour, a little definition there, and then the candlelit. Now on busy days, I could say, all right, I've got my color on, I'm done. Now for a little extra pop, I'm gonna use a brightening highlight that's a little lighter. I'm gonna turn the brush over to the little small end, and I'm just gonna add a little pop, help with concealing the eyes. And each one of you, I've matched you a little differently, telling you where to put the color and how. Take the small end and work it into that area. So I just kind of popped it where I see shadow, unless you need that color there. So if you have like darkness that goes like that, tap it right on top of that, okay? And see how it's just a lot brighter? That's what I loved about the Seint Beauty coloring, the pigments, and then I'm going to down bridge my nose. How pretty and bright it makes it. So I like to use the Feely eyeshadow for my brows. Sometimes I use Indigo Contour. I was telling someone earlier, this was the angle brush. That's the old name. When they rebranded, they changed the name of the brushes. So I'm a creature of habit. So this is called the line brush. It's line, see that little angle there? If you don't do your brows, highly recommend. If you don't have any brows at all, add you some. Changes it. I mean, even if you don't do anything else and just apply brows, game changer. I think I'm gonna do my baby watermelon, and then I'm gonna do pop and baby watermelon on my lips. So baby watermelon, my favorite. Looks so bold and pink, doesn't it? But it is the prettiest color on the cheeks. Use the same brush, barely dab, apply some, and look, that's just the prettiest color. That's what I'm saying. I've had this thing for 3 years. It takes so little. And look, I feel like I got too much there. You don't sweat it. You just wipe your brush off and push it in and blend it in, and it blends so nicely. You cannot, I promise you, cannot. And I like to add just a hint to the apples of my cheeks. A color called Basic. You know, you can't go, no, I'm sorry, this is called Bird. I'm gonna use my eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna take and apply, use impression motions, little sweepy motions, hold the brush down next to the face, and I'm gonna coat the entire base of my lid with Bird. I'm gonna take the small end of this brush and carry it down in here. So now I'm wiping off my brush, and my next color, guys, is the most friendly color anybody can get, and it's like heaven on the eyes, and you need it. This is called Soulmate, okay? And I'm just going to take Soulmate with my finger, and I'm going to go right in the center. And see, my eyes are nice and wrinkly, so I'm just kind of pick it up and move it around, and I'm just tapping that on there. Take what's left, don't waste any, and let's put it up there. So I'm going to take this wispy end of this brush that I was just using, and I'm just going to take the sides of it and blend it together. This is my favorite quick eyeshadow done. This is Honey, and probably everybody I color match, I give you Honey. Why? This is why. I mean, Honey is this pretty yellow. There's some other little tricks you can do with Honey I'm fixing to show you. Now, I have crow's feet and everything, so I don't want to put that up next to my crow's feet. I'm gonna pick a smooth part of my cheek and add glow there. Then right down here, I have pores on the end of my nose, so I don't want to do it down there. Take a really small brush, multitasker brush, and I'm going to touch up. And this is what you need to do. Take the darker highlight that you have, and touch right on top of that. A little bit of powder, or you take cupcake eyeshadow. See this cupcake eyeshadow? It looks just like the vanilla dust. And you take just a little bit of that. It's a matte vanilla color, and I just have it right on there. Take my detail hat brush and take my contour and go just like that underneath my lip. take pop and pop it on. A little bit of baby watermelon right in the center. Illuminator, and put it right there on the top. Good, done. What do you think? Now, you would need to set it with a setting spray or a powder. The Stay Setting Spray, the great thing, any setting spray works with it. If you got more than matte or if you're more oily, I highly recommend getting the vanilla dust and setting it where you're oily, but it definitely needs setting because it is a cream. Throw in some mascara, I won't bore you and put that on. If you're ever looking for the best lash serum, this is the healthiest my lashes have ever been. This is called Lash Therapy, and I have a discount code if you're interested. Guys, talk to you in a little while. Bye.